The topic of our rights coming from God was recently on full display on Capitol Hill. Senator Tim Kaine says he finds it, quote, extremely troubling when people say rights do not come from laws nor governments.
Mr. Barnes, I was struck by your opening comments, and I asked to get a copy of them so I could read them and make sure I quoted them correctly. You state, and this is a quote from Secretary Rubio, "Our rights come from God, our Creator, not from our laws, not from our governments." I find that very, very troubling.
The Virginian Democrat also compared the belief that our rights come from our Creator with the extremist theocratic regime in Iran. A Republican senator responded.
Senator Kaine said in this hearing that he found it a radical and dangerous notion that you would say our rights came from God and not from government. I just walked into the hearing as he was saying that, and I almost fell out of my chair. Because that radical and dangerous notion, in his words, is literally the founding principle upon which the United States of America was created.
EWTN's Andrea Picciotti-Bayer also pushes back. In an opinion piece for the National Catholic Register, she writes in part, quote, "Government exists not to manufacture rights, but to safeguard what God has already granted. Laws may change, but the rights that flow from our human dignity endure because they are written into our very nature." Joining us for more is Andrea Picciotti-Bayer, legal analyst for EWTN News and director of the Conscience Project. Andrea, thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, Veronica, thank you so much for having me on, and congratulations.
Thank you so very much. So first, you attended President Trump's meeting of the Religious Liberty Commission. What did you think of the president's remarks?
You know, they were incredible. They were lengthy and they were thorough, and they really gave a run-through of all that this administration has been doing to protect religious freedom, as well as kind of a sneak peek on what we can look forward to, especially when it comes to religious freedom in our public schools.
Now, in an article you wrote for the National Catholic Register, you said Senator Kaine's comments showed a misunderstanding of our nation's principles. How should Americans understand our rights and where they come from?
Yeah, no, I mean, those remarks really were lamentable, right? Our rights don't come from government. Government is instead to secure and safeguard our rights. Our true human rights, come from our Creator. And it's really, I think, where we can lean on our great Catholic intellectual tradition and great scholars here like Daniel Philpott of Notre Dame, Marian Glendon of Harvard, who have written extensively to really help understand both the role of our founders' understanding of rights, but also the Church's declarations on the kind of dignity of the human person, that rights flow from that dignity that we have given to us from our Creator.
Now, what does Senator Kaine's comment tell us about America at large and its view of rights and dignity?
Well, it really is kind of a cautionary tale that even Senator Kaine, who identifies as Catholic, doesn't really understand these basic truths about the human person and about the relationship between government and protecting its people and the relationship that the people have with their Creator. I think it is a reflection, though, Veronica, of the challenge that we have before us as people of faith. There are so many of our neighbors, people in our community who are unchurched, and they don't really understand the role of religion or God in their own lives. And this is a great opportunity for us to really share the beauty of our faith, share the importance of how living out our faith in the public square in our daily lives is key, and how our government, our Constitution, our First Amendment protects that, safeguards that, and particularly this is coming under attack, and how time and time again this Supreme Court has been vindicating those rights.
What do you suggest Catholics read for a better understanding of our rights and dignity?
You know, I think we can go to first reading the Constitution, get to know the First Amendment. These are wonderful documents. We're on the heels, the eve of the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, where it really talks that, men are endowed by their Creator by certain inalienable rights. These are things that we should know. They should kind of fall off the tip of our tongue. And we should also look at some of the great, wonderful documents that the Catholic Church offers with regard to core human rights, particularly religious freedom, which is unfortunately under attack, spend some time with Dignitatis Humanae, the Declaration on Religious Freedom that came out of Vatican II. Understand that it's not just for Christians or for Catholics, but these are all people who are drawn to a relationship with God, and that we should really defend their ability to seek the truth without any kind of coercion or suppression.
Andrea Picciotti-Bayer, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Veronica, for having me.